Hello everybody, and welcome back to another battle of World of Warship Blitz with the French, the Tier 6 from memory, the Tier 6 French battleship, the Normandie. This is a 3-turret battleship, 4 guns per turret, so it's a sort of French configuration with turrets with lots of guns. It's not one that I play very often. I'm not a big fan of the French battleships, and maybe it's the aesthetics, maybe it's because I have more than enough to keep me busy. But anyway, this was a reasonably good game. From the point of view, it shows you a little bit of what can work well, but it also shows you a little bit of what doesn't work. So I've loaded up HE. There's 2 destroyers, there's a cruiser. Generally on this map, the first thing you see is a destroyer. I've moved forward a fair distance, but my my escort ships are starting to turn, so I have the biggest spotting distance, so yeah, I'm starting to turn as well, otherwise there's a real risk of me being focused fired. And there goes the Farragut. That's our going out on a flanking manoeuvre. Fortunately, he's up against the Leander, and he's beached himself. So I've got HE loaded, 3 turrets, 4 guns per turret, 12 shots, and boom. Dispersion meant that I only got 4 hits. He smoked up. He probably should have counted to at least 15 before smoking up, because I've got to reload. So he smoked up a little bit early, but anyway, there's not much he can do all the way over there. There's not much else going on, so we'll just wait for his smoke to expire, or the Leander to finish him off. The Leander will probably be dropping some torpedoes into that smoke. He's trying to escape, and right, we have to gauge a bit of distance, and then because it's a destroyer, you get a little bit more on the end. That'll probably just tag his tail. Oh no, there we go. Bang, straight on top of him. May not have been doing full speed. So first kill. And now we're into battleship duty with this Bayern. So with this map, I generally like to face my guns outwards, and that way I can defend the cap, because otherwise what happens is if you end up being pushed away or having to turn away, you move further and further away from your cap. Whereas if your guns are facing out to the right, you actually move in to protect your cap if you get forced to retreat. So I'm going to turn and take a shot at this guy. He's getting fairly well hammered. He's obviously taken a few torpedo hits, and he's got some fires going. So let's show him the barrels from these French cannon, and that'll be him over and done with, I suspect. Oh, yep, he's gone. So unfortunately, if you turn your guns outwards, it can make it a little bit more difficult to be an offensive player, but here I am. The cap is nicely empty, so I'm going to turn to the right, or turn to the left, expose my right side at the incoming battleships. So now, looking at it critically here, I probably should have turned and stayed on the far side of the cap and given an opportunity for my support to come in. But the other mistake that I'm making, and it may not be an obvious one, is that I'm shooting at the aircraft carrier. Sure, the aircraft carrier is dangerous with its planes, but it's sort of, for a full health battleship, it's more of nuisance value. That Furataka is way more dangerous. So, yep, so he's launched his torpedoes. Fortunately, I stopped. But as you can see, those surface ships, I could have really dealt this Furataka a lot earlier. And right now, yeah, it's a bit of a struggle. So I think those 3 torpedoes will be enough, and we're down. However, we've forced the enemy cap, so they are no longer getting points, and they're forced into defence, so all 3 of the ships are around their own cap. So as long as we keep earning points, we will actually have the opportunity to lose a ship, 2 ships, and potentially stay ahead. So we've got 3 ships. They're inside the cap. 2 of our ships are inside the cap. One of our cruisers obviously is, oh yep, the Agincourt's done in the Furataka, so putting the battle in the bag with any luck. So here I am watching the mini-map. Now we're going to observe the players and this Fubuki. Yeah, no, that's going to be a bit rough on that poor Warspite. He's not really built for taking that sort of punishment. That Agincourt will, no, the Warspite isn't designed for close-in combat. Unfortunately, the Fubuki launched all his torpedoes, and in that sort of situation, I'd recommend launching torpedoes in stages, so that if they dodge, you have to keep moving. They can't concentrate their fire. So rather than trying to get the one big hit. Anyway, that was throwing away a perfectly good ship, but you can see it performs quite well. Lots of guns, reasonable dispersion, reasonable speed. Yeah, the Normandie is it's basically okay for a Tier 6 battleship. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll see you next time.